Welcome to Mountain Bike Physics, Independence of Horizontal and Vertical Motion problem. Here's our problem. How fast was Rodney from the Utah Science Center going when he hit the edge of the wall? And how long was he and his bike in the air? Here's what we know. Vertical distance is 1.10 meters. Horizontal distance, 2.38 meters. Acceleration due to gravity, 9.81 meters per second squared. So if we need to find the horizontal velocity and the time, our strategy would be, let's find time for the y coordinate first. Time for both the y and the x coordinates are going to be common. And then let's find the horizontal velocity. Pause the video now. The solution will follow. Here's our solution. The bike is going to be 1.10 meters above the lower surface. And the bike is going to be projected off this ledge and cover a horizontal distance of 2.38 meters. We're going to go ahead and use a constant acceleration equation, and we're going to solve this problem one direction at a time. We'll actually start with the y coordinate first. Here's what we know. Acceleration in the y direction is going to be negative 9.81 meters per second squared, which is acceleration due to gravity. And initial velocity in the y direction is 0 meters per second. Wasn't going in the y direction. Our x acceleration was 0, and our velocity is unknown. What is common to both of these coordinates is time, and since we don't have any unknowns in the y direction, we'll solve for time in the y direction. So it sets up like this. Negative 1.10 meters is our distance traveled in the y direction, so that will equal our initial velocity in the y direction times time, plus 1/2 our acceleration in the y direction times time squared. Remember, again, time is common to both the y and the x coordinates, so we don't need to designate it as y and x here. We know that the velocity in the y direction is 0, so that whole piece is going to equal 0, so we can rewrite the equation, say dy equals 1/2 a to the y times time squared. Take the square root of that to isolate time. Plug in what we know. 2 times minus 1.10 meters divided by our acceleration in the y direction, which is negative 9.81 meters per second squared. We equal our time. Our time is 0.474 seconds. So we found time for both the y and the x coordinates. We'll now use that information to solve for velocity in the x direction or horizontal direction. Velocity equals distance divided by time. Our distance in the x direction was 2.38 meters divided by our time, 0.474 seconds. Our velocity in the x direction, 5.02 meters per second.